What is going on, everybody? I am super excited today. This is California Kaldune. Do you know why I'm so excited? Could it be because there's a white and black Tesla behind me? Yeah, and they're both top of the line models, but from different years. The Tesla Model S. That is right. I have two Tesla Model S's here today, both high-end spec. One is the P90D from 2015 and 2016. And the other is the dual motor performance 2020. Which one is better? Which one is faster? I know that you care about all these things, but you probably care about which one is the fastest. So let's just get straight to the point. I know that's really all you care about. So to make it happen, I've got to take both these cars out. And to do that, obviously I can't drive both. So give me a second. So yeah, I have here Jackie for you. Jackie will be driving the black Tesla, the older model, of course, while I drive the newer, nicer, better one. I mean, you know, the 2020, whatever. You get the point. We're gonna race. We'll be right back.
Damn, you beat me, fuck!
Hey, so I'm really sorry that happened to you. I'm really sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, for you guys that don't know, I was in the white car, she was in the black, and she just lost. It's very traumatic for her right now, and you know, she might have a few things to say to you. I don't know. Can you even talk right now? Are you okay?
I mean, all I'm saying is, that's your car.
Oh, well, that's right. You know.
So, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess now you could just leave. You know what? Seriously? All right. It is my car. Yeah, my car was slower, guys. You know what? Just hands down, it was slower. And we kind of expected that. My car is a 2015 and that's a 2020. So it happened and, you know, it's over. It's over. We don't need to talk about that anymore. Let's get to the features of these cars and let's get to the rundowns. Let's forget about the past. All right. We are back right now, right here. And I wanted to point out some major differences about these two cars right off the bat. All right, you ready for it? You paying attention? All right, here it is. You see the lights? You got different lighting here. Right off the bat, major differences from 2020 to 2015. The projectors are a little different too. Check this out. See those projectors? They're a little bit brighter than these ones on the 2015. This is my 2015 model. I don't know if you heard a clicking sound too when I was flashing the high beams. Well, that's because this is the older model adaptive headlight system. But, I mean, they're still good. But I wanted you to see the major differences in the lights before we actually start getting to talk about the car, which we're going to do right now. I just wanted to point out the major differences of these cars. Now, for starters, obviously, just to recap, my black 2015 P90D is right here, right? Because it's the black one that lost the race earlier. And the white 2020 performance dual motor is right here. Okay, so don't get it twisted. Mine's the one that lost. We already covered that. But what I wanted to point out to you is, can you see the major differences right off the bat? We've got a duck face right here. This is apparently a duck face. And then we've got this classic oval shape right here. Now, it doesn't look too bad. Me personally, originally, I preferred my nice oval shape just because of the way it looked. It looked more classy to me, more aggressive. I liked it better. The other one kind of looks like it's pouting like that. You know, like maybe it's got something to be sad about or angry about, or I don't really know what's going on with that face, but at first I wasn't all about it. But now I'm definitely moving away from this and moving on to this. And just looking at it right off the bat, you could see that the sensors are placed strategically lower on this car, right? You have the sensors, the parking sensors, they're placed lower. And that's to help pick up more information because these are lower to the ground. As opposed to this one, you could see on my black 2015, the sensors are running a little bit higher up. And the reason for that is on the 2020 performance, or any, as a matter of fact, any Model S 2020, they have more sensors than this old generation because they have enhanced autopilot self-driving capabilities. Mine does not. Mine actually is just a regular, measly little autopilot that can't do multiple things, but this thing can do a lot. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about the sensors in just a second, but just soaking that in, there's some differences here that are obvious. I mean, it's personal taste, but me personally, I've moved on and I feel like I'm more all about the 2020. But if you guys like the 2015, please let me know in the comments because I'm kind of curious to see which one you guys prefer. Maybe you might surprise me with your answer. Yo, I forgot to talk about the trunk. So hold on, guys. Come over here with me. You see this trunk? It's pretty basic, right? Nothing too fancy other than it looks like earlier that my Tesla wanted to eat the new Tesla. And I think personally it wants to do that. I want you to take a look right here. It's obviously like empty, right? There's nothing there, but walk with me over to the new one. In case you didn't know who they loved more, this one has a Tesla stamp right on it. So yeah, that's kind of a weird thing. But another thing that's kind of weird, and I don't really even have an explanation, so maybe some of you might know the reason for this, is why does this sound like this? Like, check this out. I'm gonna close this. All right, it's closed. Now I'm gonna open it. Okay, you heard how it kind of had that electronic sound and it kind of just opened up, right? But when we go over to the other one, it's a little different. Why is it quieter on this one, but louder on that one? Isn't that the new one? Shouldn't it be like more refined, more gentleman, like, excuse me? But no, it's actually a little annoying. It's a little loud, right? A loud pop like that. I don't know if you guys know the reason why, but if you do, again, put it in the comments because I sure don't. I don't know anything about that. But I do know a few things before you go back to that one. Come over here. All right. So you see the side profile of this, right? And if you take a good look, there are some small differences. Ready? Right here on the turn signal, there's a camera, okay? Yeah, there's a camera and there are some sensors going along this car picking up far more information than that car. You see, when you come over to this T over here, there's no camera, okay? And we've got a camera over here, right on this newer model. There's no camera, all right? Now this is the P90D from 2015. That is the dual motor, top of the line performance model from 2020. Starting to see a little bit of difference here. It's not a huge difference, but aesthetically there are some little differences because of the technology. Now, if you take a look at my rims and you notice the rims over there, they look a little different. Mine stick out a little bit more. So I'm gonna, for the first time, I'm actually gonna look and see what my tire size is here on this car. And it looks like we've got, oh yeah, 245, 35, 21s, right? Let's take a look over there. 245, 35, 21s. But why do they look different? It's the composite of the wheel. These are actually a little bit different than those. Even though they're the same size, it's not the same rim. But it just looks different. I mean, they're the same sizes, but they just look different. It's very subtle, but it's more flush, It's just flush. And even on the back ones, when you look at the size here, 265, 35 are ZR21s, whatever. 265, 35 ZR21s. But there's a slight difference in them. just cosmetically. These are turbine wheels that kind of stick out, and those don't. I guess getting to the point about what all this crap is that you see that I have some curb rash there. It's because these rims, they stick out. So I think they solved the problem because those rims look great and mine look like crap. All right, so I'm not here to like drown you with all the stats and like which one's faster, which one's better, which one's this, which one's that. We all know what's going on here. We know that the 2020 is going to be faster. We know the 0 to 60 time is going to be better, but there are some differences, some general differences, and that's what I'm here to point out to you guys, the general differences. It's not a full-blown car review. Think of it more like I'm just introducing you to these cars. So, you know, if you've got information about this kind of vehicle or that kind of vehicle, or whatever, like just let me know in the comments because I want to know what you know because I don't really know everything. I'm just a guy with a camera and, you know, a microphone looking at cars all day. Let me know what you know. Yeah, so going back more into what's different about these cars, check this out. Come over here to the front windshield. You see this right here? This front mounted camera probably has some radar equipment in there too. And if you notice, there's some lines going through here. Obviously, they've got some sort of information powerhouse coming through this front of the car, right? Mine doesn't have that. You come over here, it's much, much smaller. Much smaller. And the only explanation I can give you is that obviously the older gen doesn't get as much information as the newer gen. So I mean, much more fancier, subtle differences, but the list will go on and on and on. I mean, you could check and look at the back of this thing. Obviously, this is like a piano white on black. You've got the carbon fiber lip here, and it's a little different. You know, you see you got the SpaceX logo. You've got the dual motor performance right here, and it just looks a little bit different, and they put a little bit of an undertone black carbon fiber looking thing at the bottom. At least it looks like carbon fiber from far away, but it's actually just solid black. When you come to mine, it's just carbon fiber and some, you know, some gray at the bottom. Got that P90 badge right there. It's not a hell of a lot different, but it is different. I mean, personally, when you look at the back of these two cars, it's just going to be based on your preferences because they both look identical, right? From the back. I mean, except for the badges. But most people don't even know what those badges mean. A lot of people probably think that my P90 is more important than that dual motor just because it has a P and a 90 on it. It's like, oh, it's a P90. But the reality is that more simplistic look right there, that's what's more expensive. That's the new. That's where it's going. The simplest, minimalist look. One important thing that was only available back in my time, see this right here? It's actually a sunroof. I'm going to demonstrate that to you right now. Just stay right there. Yeah, see, this was only available back in the day. They don't do sunroofs anymore at Tesla. You can't get a sunroof on a Model S. That's a top-of-the-line Tesla over there. There is no sunroof. It's gone. Those days are over. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to go over there and you're going to take a look. There's no sunroof. Now, this is a roof. You can see through it. When you get in the car, if you look up, you can see a roof, but there's no sunroof. I don't have the answer for why they did that. All I can think of is maybe the cost, and also they don't want things breaking every 5 minutes. I haven't had my sunroof break on me, but I could tell you, sometimes I do think it's about to happen any day now, which also brings me to some reliability issues, which I think they've resolved with the newer one over mine. I think personally that the newer one has less issues in its computer system, its software, and, you know, maybe just some of the regular stuff like the door handles. It's just better. You know how I know? Because when I go to get my car fixed, because some of these things break, they're actually putting on the parts that go on the newer cars, not its own part number or old part numbers. They're putting on the updated parts. So I'm pretty sure that the new one, this white one, is probably a little bit better in longevity versus mine. Just my opinion. Hey, quick question, guys. So which one do you like better? Sunroof on the old car or no sunroof on the new? Come on, tell me in your comments. What do you think? Which one? Which one would you get? Come on now, be honest. All right, guys, so we're here at the trunk, and I got to tell you, it's pretty much the same story as what I have in mine. Even got the same secret cubby hole right here, you know? So you could put your Tesla charger and all that good stuff. Everything is pretty much the same. The only thing I can tell you is that when you touch the materials on this versus mine, they feel a little bit better than they did on mine. This feels newer, feels nicer, feels softer. Something about the carpet that's used on here versus mine is a little bit better. I might just be losing it right now, or maybe it's because mine's a little bit older. Maybe the carpet hairs are worn out, but this material just feels a little bit better. Another thing that I noticed is that every part of the plastic feels like it has like this little slippery coating on it. Feels better than mine. It just, you know, I can't really explain it. If you were here touching the car, you would know what I'm saying. But on mine, when I touch the plastics, it just feels a little bit rougher. So I feel like they've gotten a few things down from this generation to the next that they didn't have on mine. And this is all just the aesthetics talks from the outside of the car. I mean, we could look at the workmanship of the car and I could show you that, you know, obviously the way that these doors meet up from the rear window closing to the top, it's just a little bit different, a little bit better in my opinion. Just my opinion. Like when you look at the door, how it closes, and you see the gaps here, it's a little bit better than my car. You see how there's a little bit more gap here? Oh, it's so sad. It wants me to open. But yeah, there's a little bit more gap. You see how it doesn't even look like my window's completely closed? But on the new one, it does. See, these are just things that I feel like they just refined and they got a little bit better at. Now that's, you know, acceptable, and I don't really have any objections against that. I just feel like, wow, I kind of want the newer one, but do I want to pay the newer one price? I don't know. I really don't. In a few more months, or maybe a few more years, but it's probably more like months, I think that the new one is going to come out. And I'll tell you how I know. Because I went to the Tesla service center and they actually told me, hey, if you're considering getting a new Model S, you may want to wait because the new one, the new Model S, is actually driving around the SpaceX Center in Hawthorne and they're testing it out all the time. So I know there's a new one coming out. So I'm not going to go and invest more money to get a 2020 when I know in 2021, it's probably a complete new Model S coming out. Just food for thought. All right, guys, about to jump in my 2015 Tesla Model S P90D. Right off the bat, I can tell the difference on the door handle from the front to the back one. Do you know why? Because this door handle actually broke and was replaced with the updated door handles that they have available on the new one. So this door handle feels different from that door handle, composite-wise, and the way it feels when you open it. Why did they change that? Because the old door handles kept on breaking. Now, obviously, the doors on this, the interior is going to look fairly similar. I do prefer the look of the piano white just looking at it, but I don't think I'd want to own it. Mine has this, you know, this dark seat with the performance look, and they are comfy. They're not like hard or weird to sit in. They're actually pretty good. Jumping in right away, you see the carbon fiber, you know, because this is the performance model. You've got this nice suede inlay going across the top of the dashboard. You've got the speaker at the front, which lays right next to the defrosters. You know, no big deal. It's just a little different on the other one. And obviously the major difference in this one, besides the central MCU being different and more proficient in the new one, you've got the sunroof, which is obviously available on the 2015 model, but not available on the newer model, which just kind of makes me wonder what happened there. You know, Tesla kind of does these things where they do changes to the car. Like, you know, for the Tesla Model S, there was these AC seats available for a while, and then they took that away. And now they took away the sunroof. That's fine, you know. Looking at the gauge cluster, it is a little bit of a different story, although I do like the graphic on mine a little bit more than the newer one. But, you know, that's really where it ends there. But the major difference is on this particular model, the P90D, we are almost at full. And I can show you when we get to that other car, almost at full and 185 miles on this, that car pretty much humiliates this car with the range. Humiliates this car with the range, and apparently in the speed context, it also humiliates the car. There are some other problems with this interior versus that interior. This interior has the old school, there is no, like, pretty much nothing here. It's just empty, right? It's just this empty space. There is no cubby holes. There's nothing here. And it's just kind of weird. But it's weird in a good way. I actually like the way it feels versus having all that set up here with the extra cup holders and little cubby boxes. But there is a problem, and that is with the seats. The performance seats on this model, they actually squeak. And anybody sitting in that seat with this precise setting will end up squeaking all the way through driving, through anything. Like, they will just be like, squeak, 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 make a left turn, squeak, make a right turn, squeak, hit the brakes, squeak, whatever, squeak, everything just squeaks. That's something that on that newer model, for whatever reason, they were able to solve that issue. So, not bashing on my car, but just saying it's a little bit better in there. Yeah, it's going to cost more money, but it's just a little bit better. So let's go take a look at the new one. All right, guys, I'm about to hop in the 2020 Tesla Performance Dual Motor. That's right, with the SpaceX logo. Check this out. I'm gonna go for a little drive and show you just how different this car is compared to my old car. And the reason I would know is because I have the old one. Check this out. Let's start our drive. All right. Did you notice the lovely Google Earth on the main screen right here? Got some Tupac right there too, by the way. All right, let's get this drive started. You know what? Probably give you guys some information once I get out of this parking structure. It looks pretty bad in here. I don't want to accidentally have a little accident. There's like 2 or 3 cars here somewhere, right? I'm just kidding. Check this out. You see that? Those poles, they're appearing on the screen. And also, the information is processing in the car while I'm driving. You will also start to see information about the road appearing on the road of the virtual car. Slowly but surely. Look at that. Boom. See, it's picking up all the information that's here. And eventually, when I run into a stop sign, you're going to see that too. I just can't get over how good the battery is on this thing. I mean, 287 miles, and it's like night and day difference with battery. And obviously the power of this car, the sheer magnitude of the power of this car is different too. You can feel it on the accelerator. There's a difference, The interior is not too bad either. Looking around. Getting out of this parking structure so I can show you guys what's up. All right, so you see right there is a little arrow on the floor. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's an arrow on here. As I'm driving, you can see arrows on the ground. And then a stop sign. And there's a stop sign right there. Kind of crazy. It's like complete virtual world. Look at that. Yeah. Turn out of here. It's just crazy. Like, the car is like rendering a virtual world for me to live in while I'm driving this car. It's like, have no worries. You're in a virtual world. But then when you crash, it's like you virtually crashed and you actually need to pay for it now. It's just kind of weird. But again, another stop sign. Check that out. Stop. Look at all that information. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's like it's literally reading the whole world and like providing nothing but information right here. And this is some experience. I mean, I'm telling you, you do not get this in my car. In my car, there is no rendering like that. I mean, the sensors are good, but what you get is some, nice little cars, and you see that there's a truck or a motorcycle coming by. But this is just like a virtual stop and a virtual like environment. It's completely different. Completely different. Everything is just on the screen. Even the fact that there's, double yellow lines, those are appearing. It's just crazy, Like, I don't want to be dangerous and show you all this stuff when I get on the freeway, but just take my word for it. If you're really interested in something like this, or you're debating between, the older model or the newer model, well, this is some of the little Easter eggs you get, besides the fact that this car has karaoke and some other little features where you could tune the suspension, and it's a little faster and a little nicer inside. a little quieter. You know, it's definitely something to think about when you're looking to invest money in getting into Tesla. But for me personally, you know, I like the price point that I paid for my car, and I think buying it used was a wise decision for me. But you know, at the same time, for some people, getting that new one is what it's all about, and a lot of people will want a new one. And you know, I cannot gripe on that. I can't say anything bad. But if you've got money and you can get into a Tesla, just do it. New, used, whatever. Just get a Tesla, but don't get it too old. You don't want the 2015 or below, because those ones just have issues, and it's not Tesla's fault. I mean, those were the first few years they were mass producing the cars, besides making that little roadster, which, you know, I wouldn't call that mass production. They were just kind of experimenting back then. But, you know, yeah, definitely avoid anything pre-2015. Just my advice. Just saying. Take a look at that. I said I wasn't going to show you any stuff on the freeway, but look. Just look. Look at all that information. Look at that. Crazy. Check out that red light, green light action. Just thought you should see that. Alright, not saying either one is better, but obviously this one is. If you got the money, get the new one. Just saying. Cool. Oh, look, it's a truck. Hey, truck. Yeah. Holy crap. Check this out. I just saw this. Now, there's literally trash cans on the side of the road. And look what's popping up. Trash cans. They didn't have to, but they did. Good job, Tesla. The world of trash cans. They're everywhere. Oh, what happened to all the information that was there earlier? Where did it go? Where's all the street lights and the stop signs and all that? Oh, wait. We're in my car now. That's why there's none of those. I told you, it's a completely different setup. So you guys, if you want the other one, you want to pay that money, go for it. If you want to live in a virtual reality world, go ahead and spend that money. But if you could just live with driving a Tesla and having a fast one at that, get the P90 or P100D. It's not too bad. And actually, the P100D has a lot of the same features of the dual motor for 2020. And the P100D was, I think they discontinued it around 2019. So, you know, that could be a bargain. Just saying, you know, if you want to do that. Otherwise, you got to live with this. See? Coming up to a stoplight. And there's no stoplight. What are you going to do in this world? Remember the suspension settings from the other car? The newer one? Well, look at this. On mine, you only get one question. Do you want it low? Do you want it standard, high, or very high? Well, actually, that's a lot of questions, but you get the point. Like, you can't make as many adjustments as you could on my car that you could on the other one. Just saying. Like, pay more, you get more. But if you want to save some money, again, this might be the bargain for you. Just saying. If you could deal without all the options, you know, just consider a P90 or P100. Just saying. Or just get the new one. I'm so conflicted. I don't even know what I'm going to tell you anymore. I think I'm just telling you just to do whatever your heart feels. And let's just go with that. Yeah. Until next time, guys. I'll catch you later.
I'm so scared. Excuse me. Should I get some Starbucks? Nah, Jimmy's gonna be like, what the fuck, where's my car? That's literally what's in my head like all the time. That's like the back noise in my head.